Good evening, everybody. Thank you, residents and staff, for joining us for our second and final Resident Advisory Board meeting for the public comment period of the 2022 agency plan. I wanted to start off with a quick introduction of the Fresno Housing staff presenting in this meeting. I'm Lyrka Gigam. I am Fresno Housing Senior Policy Analyst. We also have Jasmine Gallardo presenting information on the Homeownership program. We have Dave Brenner presenting updated information on the Southwest Fresno Bicycle and Pedestrian Trail. Yolanda Kaiser answering any questions on the administrative plan specific to the Housing Choice Voucher Program. And then we also have Blanca Navarro answering any questions on the ACOP plan. I'm sorry. That is specific to the public housing program. We also have a Spanish and American Sign Language interpreter present. And as stated in last meeting, I do want to note that this meeting is being recorded and streaming on our Facebook Live. I also want to note and emphasize that this meeting is strictly to discuss changes in the agency plans that are displayed for public comment on Fresno Housing's website. I had provided the link to the webpage in the meeting invite that you guys received, and also provided you with the summary of changes to the plans. We will not be discussing personal issues or issues regarding the wait list, vouchers, landlords, etc. Please remember that this will be live and published on our website. So again, I advise you not to share any personal issues. Fresno Housing staff will first present the new potential changes to you, and then we will notify you when we will start taking questions and comments. Please remain patient as we get through presenting the changes to you guys. Please use the raise your hand feature or *9 to raise your hand if you're calling in from a phone. We will then call on you and unmute your mic so you can speak. We may not be able to answer all questions and comments. And if we don't, please feel free to drop your questions in the chat on the Zoom link, and we will continue. We'll document them and then post the answers on our agency plan page, which is on our website. For those watching on Facebook Live and may have questions or comments, please email agencyplans@fresnohousing.org, and that will also be dropped in the chat box on Facebook. Your answers will be posted to our website as well. Again, I do want to thank those that are participating today. And as stated before, we had a lot of interest in participation this year, and participation is very important of the potential changes that may come about our housing programs. So let me go on to the next page. So just a quick overview in today's meeting, we will concentrate on lingering questions you may still have from last meeting, or any questions or comments that may have come up since last meeting. Our goal is to obtain some feedback or guidance from you guys on the documents while the plans are posted for public comment. And just a reminder that public comment period does end on September 13th. We will get in the timeline further into the PowerPoint. Last meeting, we discussed the changes you saw in yellow, green, and blue in the admin and the ACOP summary of changes. There is no additional changes to the admin or the ACOP plans today. The meeting summary from August 17th was included in your meeting invite, and the recording is posted on our website and Facebook if you'd like to go back and review it. In this meeting, we will present on the homeownership program again, since we received so much interest in last meeting. And we will also touch on a new update on a bicycle and pedestrian trail in Southwest Fresno. And I don't think we touched on that last meeting. So in addition, not covered in the presentation, but included in the drafted plan documents, we also include formatting and grammar items. And then we'll have some free time to answer any questions and discuss details if you guys have additional questions. So a little background information on the agency plan, a bicycle and pedestrian trail.
I'm sorry.
So for myself talking, I hear echo, so I just wanted a second. If you aren't speaking, please mute your mic. Thank you. The agency plan informs HUD and the public of PHA policies, operations, funding, asset management, and program activities in place or planned for meeting local needs, housing needs, and goals. The annual plan is really just something that updates the public on any progress on development projects, amendments, or significant changes on the admin or the ACOP plan. The admin plan is specific to the discretionary policies governing the administration of the HCV program. And then the ACOP plan, which is admissions and continued occupancy policy, is specific to the discretionary policies of the low-income public housing program. So just a quick timeline. I have presented this in the last meeting and at the board meetings, but we'll just review it one more time. So in June, we did present this specific timeline to the board. We also presented in July, we presented the changes to the board and accepted their feedback before posting for public comment period. July 30th was the start date of the 45-day public comment period, and we posted the plans on the website for inspection. August 17th was our last resident advisory board meeting. August 24th was our board meeting, and we basically took everything we captured from August 17th RAB meeting to the board and just discussed what came of it. And then September 1st, which is today, we have our second and final RAB meeting for the agency plan or the 2022 agency plan process. And then September 13th, the public comment period closes. And then September 28th, we do plan to have a public hearing and then request board adoption at that time. And then October 15th, we plan to submit to HUD. So as stated previously, the annual plan provides a summary of the significant changes in the admin and the ACOP plan, and the details are provided in the plans themselves. The annual plan also provides information on activities that are not included in either the admin plan or the ACOP, but most are related to development, such as details and changes to the homeownership program, which we will go into further detail after this slide. Potential development projects that the agency may want to undertake, updates to the current projects in the pipeline, which Dave will touch on a little bit later, and then also some that are in pre-development. So activities we want to know in this meeting that are included in the annual plan are the home ownership programs, since we received so much interest in the last meeting about this, and then a quick update on the Southwest Fresno bicycle, pedestrian and trail, and pedestrian trail that was presented in the RAB meetings in 2019. So I will pass it over to Jasmine so she can talk about the home ownership programs that will be included in the annual plan. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jasmine. I will be presenting on the home ownership program section of this presentation. So Fresno Housing will be submitting plans to update our existing home ownership opportunities program to align with HUD's most recent program requirements. In accordance with HUD requirements, the updated program will require participating families to be between 60 to 80% area median income based on family size, unless they are currently living in the unit to be sold. Families are also required to partake in homeownership counseling and complete the programs as evident by a certificate of completion. Families must also qualify for a first mortgage with a private lender in order to be able to participate in the program. And at least 1% of the purchase price of the unit must come from the resident's own funds. So once our homeownership opportunities program has been updated to reflect current HUD requirements, information on how to apply will be made available to Fresno Housing's website, social media, and at Fresno Housing property sites. Next slide, please. So current residents of the Homeownership Opportunities Program homes will be given first priority, then existing public housing residents, followed by existing housing choice voucher families, and finally an open waiting list for our homeownership program. As part of the updated homeownership program, Fresno Housing will be facilitating homeownership counseling and lender engagement, as well as providing a down payment assistance in the form of a soft second mortgage of up to 20% of the sales price. So as mentioned, first priority will be given to residents currently living in the homeownership program homes. If the current residents don't qualify for the program, then qualified applicants for the program will be chosen on a lottery system, starting off with current public housing residents, existing housing choice voucher families, and then opened up to a homeownership program waiting list. The program will end once all homes have been sold to qualified applicants. And right now, according to our current family data, about 1/3 of our public housing and housing choice voucher families will be income qualified to participate in the program. Currently, the city program has 2 homes in Fresno, while the county program has 5 homes in Sanger. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. So this is actually a project by the city of Fresno that was proposed a couple years ago, and it was kind of a community planning process that selected it. And our involvement is that we have several pieces of land along the portion of Southwest Fresno that they would like to develop this trail along. It's a little less than an acre. And we did bring this to the RAB in 2019, but we didn't have a lot of information at the time. And so since then, the city has kind of finalized their plans, and they've kind of come to us to acquire the land. And we need to sort of go through this process because the land has some restrictions related to HUD. So next slide, please. And this is just to show where it is. So this project is in Southwest Fresno. That's our Yosemite Village property, just off California Avenue. And that brown dotted line you see is kind of where the proposed trail would run. And so the city would take land from a number of different property owners, including us, which is the green section. And they would create a paved trail for bicycles, pedestrians, running, walkers. And there would be lighting and shade and really benches as well. And it will tie into the larger bicycle network in Southwest Fresno. And this used to be an irrigation ditch that was paved over, actually not paved over, it was sort of filled in and a pipeline was put underneath it. And so that's how we came to acquire this land. But it's not really developable land. So I think we're really excited that this project came up. This building really, we think, is a valuable amenity for the community. So that's it. Is there any questions? It'd be great.
Not seeing any questions, but we'll wrap back around and ask at the end. We're getting close. So I do want to note that the admin plan and the ACOP plan didn't have any new updates or changes since the last RAB meeting. So that's why we are not speaking on that tonight. But you guys do have your summary of changes that I sent to you guys in the invite, and you also have the meeting minutes from the last RAB meeting we had. Again, if you have questions on what Dave presented or any follow-up questions on what Jasmine presented about the home ownership program, we would like to take them now. For more information, we would like you guys to visit our website, and it has all of our drafts on there. And all of our questions and answers are on there as well. But other than that, I think we're getting to the end. Very quick presentation today. Again, we just want any feedback from you guys from the summary of changes that you may have or any updates from today's presentation. And you also, if you do have a question, you will need to use the raise your hand feature. And if you're on the phone, you do have to dial *9 in order to raise your hand. All right, looks like we have one. And it says from Jay Anthony, I remember hearing a number of properties that accept Section 8. Is there a question regarding that? What is that number? So I'm going to guide that question to Blanca. Blanca, are you there?
Yes. So if the question is specific to how many properties, there's just different private owners that take Section 8. And so we don't have, I do not believe that we have a tracking mechanism for that amount of, for those landlords. I think maybe Yolanda might have a little bit better analysis, but there are landlords throughout the city and county of Fresno that take the Section 8 voucher.
Yeah, we do have a handful of properties that we actually own that also accept Section 8. If you're looking for a broader aspect, if it accepts it, I would recommend going to section8.com, which is actually going to be updating their website fairly soon to affordablehousing.com. And there's some great characteristics that they're updating and aspects of the website. So keep an eye out for that. But I believe it's still section8.com if you want to go to their website and see who actually accepted.
So that works. Thank you. Do we have any other questions? Again, please use your raise your hand feature or *9.
Derek, I do see a question from a participant in the chat. It's asking exactly how long is the trail, Dave?
Yeah, so this section is actually quite short, so it's only half a mile long, but it connects to street bicycle paths that the city is sort of planning to build throughout Southwest Fresno, and it will hopefully, in the future, hopefully connect going west and continuing. So this is really kind of the first true piece of the trail being built in Southwest Fresno as part of a larger plan by the city that will come over the next number of years.
And did you say that was half a mile?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have any other questions, comments? Doesn't have to necessarily be a question. Adam,
Right.
we do. Oh, thank you. Never mind. Go ahead.
Are you able to hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, I know we had talked about the homeownership program. We talked about it last, we touched on it. Is there a specific open date when that starts that we can apply, or should we just keep an eye out on the website?
So for now, we are still working through the updates for the homeownership program. Once we do get the updates approved by HUD, we'll have more information on the website. So just keep an eye out.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I actually had a question about that home ownership program. Last time we had the last meeting, I remember hearing that there were 2 properties that were left and that were going to be available whenever those dates came up. But I just wanted to know in that since then or do they have any plans? Do you guys have any plans to acquire more properties so that there are more than just the 2 in that that are available now? Or is that just kind of like you guys are just trying to get to change over the way that it's done for just these 2 properties? Or that's basically the question. Or are there going to be more opportunities?
So for the homeownership program, we are just going to be selling the homes that we currently have, which would be the 2 city homes and then the 5 county homes. We don't have plans on acquiring more homes for the program after that.
Okay, so after that, then it's kind of like that program would not be available anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, and then just the comment for the bike trail. I think that's a good use of the land. And they should probably do that, like, for different, if you guys do have any more land, different properties around, Southwest Fresno as well. So I know it's over there by Yosemite Village. I particularly stay, a ways from there, but it's a good use of the land. It's a good idea, and maybe like more playgrounds or if we could just get people, retail stores to come this way and grocery stores in Southwest Fresno, that would be good too. But I know you guys don't have control over that, but yeah. So thank you for answering my question. That's all I want to say.
Thank you. Good to know. It looks like Juan has his hand up. He might have a follow-up to Letitia's comment. Go ahead, Juan.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback on what Jasmine said regarding this particular homeownership program. You know, HUD has kind of moved away from homeownership programs as they used to be, which is sort of, they take a public housing contract and they attach it to a single family home, and then they allow us to operate a homeownership program. So these are the last pieces of what were our traditional public housing homeownership programs. There may be opportunities, particularly in Southwest Fresno, for a different type of homeownership program. We've applied for funds for what would be a different type of homeownership program, but it would be in Southwest Fresno. And I think it's probably, you know, if this program right here is going to get approved by HUD early next year is what we think. The next version of a homeownership program in Southwest Fresno would be maybe potentially 2 years down the road. And that would be newer homes that are part of like a bigger project. And I'm not sure what the number of homes would be at that time, but when that, as that home ownership program takes shape and we get more funding to do that and more details come out, we'll definitely, you know, send out information to the RAB, as well as have it on our social media outlets, as well as, you know, our website, of course. But so I would say kind of this version right here is not, we hope is not the final home ownership program that we implement. We've done a few over the years, and the next version would be something that would be on a much larger scale to get to help folks in Southwest Fresno to acquire single family homes.
Thanks, Juan. It looks like we may have another question. 1 second. Oh, Jay Anthony said that's going to be great. So good information, guys. Thank you. Any other questions or comments from residents, staff? All right, I'm not seeing any. Again, for those who are watching on Facebook Live, please email the email address that was provided for you guys in the chat if you do have any questions or comments, because I don't see them on my end right now. And then for those that are participating on the Zoom call, thank you for participating. I'll give one last chance for any questions or comments before we conclude. All right, I'm not seeing any. I do want to thank the residents that participated this year in this process. I think it was probably one of the best RAB meetings we probably have had in a while, because there was so much participation from you guys. And you guys showed a lot of interest in the home ownership program. And that really stood out to us. So we will take your comments and questions into consideration. Again, we do have a public hearing September 28th. So if you guys would like to participate in that, you can. We will have the Zoom link to our board meeting on our website, and I can provide that to you guys as well if you guys want to reach out and ask me for it. That's totally fine. If not, you will find it on our website. But either way, I just want to thank everybody, staff and residents, for helping out and sharing your guys' thoughts and opinions with us. So with that, I will conclude. Thank you, you guys. Thanks.